Welcome back to Max's Muscle TV. Now, any serious trainer knows that getting enough protein back into your body is vital to keep your muscles growing. It's something we've been saying since we started Muscle TV all those years ago because it's a fact. Simple as that. There are, however, plenty of choices as to how you're going to get that protein that you need. And that's exactly what we'll be looking at in tonight's nutrition segment. Take it away, boys.
Well, thanks, Tony. Well, today we're going to talk about different protein choices.
We'll start off with fish. Okay, so we've got the white fish and the red fish family, both skinless, boneless, very easy to cook, already portioned for us by the supermarket.
And fish is really great for a bodybuilder, especially on a low-fat diet.
Okay, then we go on to the kangaroo, which is probably the leanest meat that we can buy. So we've got the mince, sausage, and the fillet. And look, you can cook it up like you would cook up beef. You know, make your bolognese sauce out of the mince or make your hamburgers, whatever. But I wouldn't think bodybuilders would eat sausages.
Well, actually, it's not a bad way to go in the morning. Just have a bit of a sausage and scrambled eggs, high in protein. Less
than 2% fat. The fillet, again, very lean. We like to cook it and serve it medium, so it's still very juicy inside. Marinated in some nice herbs and spices. We go to the mince meat. Now, if you look at these mince meat, kangaroo mince, you can see the flecks of what looks like fat. That's actually sinew, which actually cooks down. So it's not fat, it's more protein. Whereas if you look at the beef mince, you can see the visible fat in there.
Folks, this is really important. Again, if you're looking at leaning up, to choose the kangaroo mince as opposed to the beef one. As you can see, the different colours. Where's the best place to buy kangaroo?
Well, kangaroo is available in all the supermarkets. Macro Meats provide the best one. You can get it marinated, you can get it tied up, ready to roast, sausages, minced, however you like it. It's all Macro Meats and it's all in the supermarkets.
Great thing about that, folks, is it's really good meat, 98% and high protein, 2% fat, so high source of vitamin B as well.
Sounds like it's one of your favourites, Fred.
It is, Pete. I love kangaroo, love it.
So we'll move on to the red meats now. And the beef cuts, we've got the Scotch fillet, we've got an eye fillet, we've got a Girello, which is from the inside of the silver side, probably a bit too complicated for you guys, but it's probably the leanest beef cut there is.
We like to keep things simple, bodybuilders.
Very simple.
Yeah.
We've got a porterhouse or a sirloin steak and a rump steak, which is my favourite. It's my favourite because it's the biggest, but it's got all the fats visible around the outside. Now, we've talked before about making a relationship with your butcher, who will look after you because you guys eat so much meat.
We do.
Go into your local place, make a relationship with your butcher and tell him, mate, I don't want to see any fat on my meat, cut all that off. Very, very simple.
It's a good point that Peter makes, folks, because the butchers will often do that as well. So don't be afraid to ask and you'll get them to do that for you.
Well, Fred, you would eat more red meat than a family would, so, you know, you're pretty good value to a butcher. Then we've got a porterhouse steak, again, fat around the outside, and a Scotch fillet, which is a beautiful, beautiful steak to eat. If you're going out for dinner, very posh restaurant, Scotch fillet will be beautiful.
Bit of marble through there, Pete?
Very much so. The porterhouse and the Scotch and even the eye fillet have got the speckled fat through it, which when it cooks, that fat actually melts into the steak and gives it a really beautiful flavour.
Well, personally, as a bodybuilder, I'd probably go for the kangaroo fillets, but obviously out of these choices, this would be probably the way to go, the eye fillet, would you say?
Well, no, I believe the rump, again, big fat surface area, very quick to cook on a grill, a couple of minutes. The thicker it is, the longer it is and the more complicated to cook it. So a nice big slab of rump steak with the fat cut off.
Most of these meats have the same protein levels, but obviously there's a difference in cost.
Oh, absolutely. We start at the eye fillet. Eye fillet's most expensive. Scotch fillet, porterhouse, then rump, and then Girello, and then your mince. But at the same time, you can pay $10 a kilo for budget rump, pay $15 a kilo for a decent meal. So it's whatever your budget is. If you've got a small budget, you go for the budget cuts. The more money you've got, obviously, the more tender the meat's going to be.
Sure.
It's you get what you pay for. Finishing off, we've got what we call the new pork cuts, and that's a cut off a leg steak. When we have the family roasts, notice we don't have any roasts here. All the roast cuts have a lot of fat through them, so that when you cook them down, the fat actually goes through the whole meat.
Big no-no for bodybuilders.
The only roast I would cook is the Girello. Buy a whole Girello, roast it off and use it for 2 or 3 meals.
Yep.
But the pork leg steaks for just a bit of variety. So you've got kangaroo, pork, beef, and of course your obvious one is the chicken breast.
Staple to any bodybuilding diet, Pete.
Always the white meat. The thigh meat and the leg meat, again, it's got fat through it.
I notice there's a little bit of fat through there. Obviously you trim that off before you cook it.
You can trim that off, yeah, just a little bit of belly fat on the edges, but nothing too much to worry about. Take that off and it's completely lean.
So Peter's chosen a chicken breast here. Obviously chicken breast is higher in protein, lower in fat compared to a thigh or a leg, and cooks really well also.
And also with the chicken breast, you can slice it up for a stir fry, dice it up for a skewer, or just grill it as it is. Very, very easy. There's no fat or sinews through it, so it's chop it, slice it however way you want, and cook it in many, many dishes.
Well, Pete, thanks very much for showing us the different protein choices out here, folks. Protein's important for building muscle as well as repairing muscle tissue as well. Now, Pete, protein's also got another ingredient called creatine in it. Creatine's basically an energy-producing compound, and it's generally found in red meats. Now, as a bodybuilder, it's really important, obviously, to eat red meat, but you can't eat a whole lot of it as well. So taking something like a Max's Create Carnage, which has creatine in it, is really, really good for you. And Stacey's going to talk a bit more about it now.
Thanks, Fred. Hi guys, Stacey here again. This week we're taking a look at Max's super popular creatine formula, Create Carnage. Creatine has been one of the big supplement success stories in recent years. Next to a good quality protein formula, creatine is the best supplement you can use to pack extra muscle on your body. Studies confirm that creatine has multiple benefits, including more energy for training, faster muscle gains and improved recovery. But not all creatines are created equal. In recent years, a number of different creatine derivatives have become available that allow creatine to be used by your body even more effectively. Max's has utilised much of these new developments in our Max's Create Carnage. This product uses 8 different creatines to give you a fast and sustained release for maximum uptake. Create Carnage also includes beta-alanine for greater workout intensity and lactate buffers to help you push yourself to the absolute limit. Create Carnage is suitable for all intermediate and advanced level trainers. You can get Max's Create Carnage from gyms and health food stores where good supplements are sold. We'll catch you next time, but remember, always push yourself to the max.
Thanks, Stacey. Well, we've just cleared the bench and Peter's going to make the perfect steak, aren't you, Peter?
Absolutely, Fred. Now the perfect steak's very, very easy. I'm going to use the grill, and it's a one-turn steak. What I'm going to do is just splash a little bit of oil on the surface of the steak.
As you can see, Peter's placed the oil actually on the steak as opposed to the hot plate. You're putting it on the hot plate, you're putting oil everywhere, so just put a little bit of a drizzle on the steak. It's
like a marinade, give it a little bit of flavour. We all love Asian food. Asians marinate everything, and that's why the food tastes so good. I've got some really finely sliced garlic, and it's just fresh garlic, which is the best thing.
Now, folks, it's important when you marinate food that you don't put things like cream and cheese and all that good stuff. So you've got a bit of garlic, a bit of herbs and spices are okay. Personally, I like to keep my steak as bland as possible, but Peter's here showing us a few different options with garlic.
It's just to add a little bit of flavour to the meat, and the garlic actually crisps up when you cook it. Now, that was the rump steak we had before. I've cut the outside fat off, so it's all the visible fat's on. The grill's nice and hot. Now, once on.
Okay. Hear the sizzle, important.
Nice and hot. And that's it, we don't have to touch it. Traditionally, we get the tongs and we cook it and we're squeezing it and pushing it and all that sort of stuff. All that's going to do is make the juices inside flow out and ruin the steak. You're going to get a nice dry steak at the end. If you just leave it alone, you'll see the moisture starts coming to the surface. When the moisture comes to the surface in 2 or 3 minutes, we turn it over once. When the moisture comes back to the other side, we have a nice, medium, tender, juicy steak ready to eat. Perfect.
Smells great, Peter. Looks awesome.
So it's the one-turn perfect steak, I call it. Very, very simple. Now, if you had a barbecue outside with the open grill, same sort of thing. The less oil you use, again, the less smoke you're going to get coming up and the less chance that you're going to get the flame shooting through. But you can cook it on your outdoor barbecue, on your grill plate, on a fry pan on the stove. With these sort of grills, you can also close them and cook it a bit quicker, but I just want to show you how it goes on the barbecue. So we'll just wait a couple of minutes, the moisture will start to come, and then we'll turn that over.
So folks, this is really convenient. You might have just come home from the gym, had a shake, you want to have something to eat, whack this on the hot plate, and then away you go, have a shower, let it cook, let it sit. As Peter said, you only need to turn it once, so give it a rest, keep an eye on it, and then come back to what you're doing, and away you go. It's just about ready.
So Fred, what would you serve the steak with?
I like to mix a couple of green vegetables, some spinach, some broccoli, maybe some sweet potato as well.
Nice serve of chips.
Not chips, Peter. A lot of trans fatty acids in chips. No, big no for
No
bodybuilding.
chips?
No chips, Peter.
So a bit of steamed sweet potato instead of chips?
Yep, steamed sweet potato is the way to go, and nice and light because obviously there's a lot of meat there as well.
So there you are, Fred, almost done. The perfect steak, one turn. And I'm going to serve that with a nice garden salad, just with a few salady ingredients. Nice big slab of meat, lots of protein and lots of creatine.
Awesome, Pete. Looks great. So there you go, folks. As Peter said, lots of protein and just important, lots of creatine. So we'll see you next time.